commercial was poor fat Marvin can't wear Levi's.
Really?
Yeah.
And you were still called Marvin at the time?
Well, no, I was called Meat, but people would call me Marvin.
Welcome back to our special feature on one of rock music's most iconic figures. Today, we delve into the extraordinary life and tragic passing of MeatLoaf. There's more over this powerful, wide-ranging voice that you never knew before. Then, don't miss this video. Let's dive in from his early days. MeatLoaf, originally Marvin Leaday, entered the world on September 27, 1947, in Dallas, Texas, to parents Wilma and Orbis Aday. His early life was marked by both humor and adversity, starting with a playful nickname that stuck from birth. Born with a vivid red complexion, MeatLoaf's father humorously likened him to 9 pounds of ground chuck, prompting hospital staff to label his crib with the name Meat. This moniker evolved into MeatLoaf during his school years, a nod to his substantial 5'2", 240-pound frame. Raised in a home where music and education were valued, MeatLoaf's mother Wilma worked as a school teacher and sang in a gospel quartet, while his father Orbis transitioned from a career as a police officer to running a grocery business. However, Orbis battled alcohol addiction, which began after he was medically discharged from the U.S. Army due to injuries sustained from a mortar shell during World War II. This led to challenging times for the family, with MeatLoaf often joining his mother in search of his father at Dallas bars and frequently staying with his grandmother to escape the tumultuous home environment. Despite these challenges, MeatLoaf's upbringing was grounded in faith and community. He regularly attended church and participated in Bible study every Sunday, fostering a strong moral compass that would shape his life and career. Academically, MeatLoaf attended Thomas Jefferson High School, graduating in 1965. During his time there, he developed a passion for the performing arts, appearing in stage productions such as Where's Charlie and The Music Man. His physical prowess also shone through as a defensive tackle on the school's football team, showcasing his athleticism alongside his theatrical talents. Following high school, MeatLoaf briefly attended Lubbock Christian College before transferring to North Texas State University, now the University of North Texas. It was during these formative years that tragedy struck with the passing of his beloved mother, Wilma, in 1967 from cancer. This profound loss deeply affected MeatLoaf, marking a pivotal moment in his life. Shortly after his mother's death, MeatLoaf confronted another harrowing incident when his father, in a drunken rage, falsely accused him and nearly attacked him with a knife. This traumatic experience prompted MeatLoaf to use his inheritance from his mother's estate to rent an apartment in Dallas. For the next 3.5 months, he isolated himself from the world, grappling with grief and the aftermath of his father's violent outburst. Despite these personal struggles, MeatLoaf's resilience and determination would later propel him to international fame as a rock icon. His early life experiences, marked by both hardship and humor, laid the foundation for his extraordinary journey in the world of music and entertainment. After making the decision to avoid being drafted into the Vietnam War, MeatLoaf embarked on a pivotal journey that would shape his early career and set the stage for his eventual rise to fame in the music industry. In a bold move, he deliberately gained 60 pounds 27 kilograms before his draft physical, hoping to fail and be deemed unfit for service. Despite his efforts, he received his draft notice nonetheless, but he chose to ignore it, opting instead to pursue his passion for music with renewed determination. Arriving in Los Angeles, MeatLoaf wasted no time in immersing himself in the city's vibrant music scene. He founded his first band, MeatLoaf Soul, which quickly caught the attention of industry insiders and secured several recording contracts. Their inaugural performance in 1968 at the Cave in Huntington Beach, California, marked the beginning of MeatLoaf's journey into the spotlight. Opening for acclaimed acts like Van Morrison and Question Mark and the Mysterians, the band's energetic performances and MeatLoaf's dynamic stage presence garnered praise and admiration. Recalling his early days in the music industry, MeatLoaf often likened himself to a circus clown, navigating the challenges and highs of performing in front of diverse audiences. The band underwent multiple changes in lead guitarists, prompting several name alterations, including stints as Popcorn Blizzard and Floating Circus, as they honed their sound and expanded their musical repertoire. As Floating Circus, they embarked on a remarkable journey, sharing stages with legendary bands such as The Who, The Fugs, The Stooges, MC5, The Grateful Dead, and The Grease Band. Their electrifying performances and regional success culminated in the release of their debut single, Once Upon a Time, act with Hello, which further solidified their growing reputation in the music scene. The turning point in MeatLoaf's career came when he joined the Los Angeles production of the groundbreaking musical Hair, which celebrated the counterculture movement of the 1960s and 1970s. His involvement in the production not only showcased his vocal prowess and theatrical flair, but also expanded his fan base and garnered critical acclaim. Buoyed by the exposure and recognition from Hair, MeatLoaf received a compelling invitation from Motown Records in Detroit. Teaming up with fellow Hair performer Sean "Stoney" Murphy, he collaborated on an ambitious project titled Stoney and MeatLoaf. Produced by the Motown team, the album featured a selection of soulful tracks that showcased MeatLoaf's versatile vocal range and Murphy's musical talents. Released in September 1971, Stoney and MeatLoaf included standout tracks like the single What You See Is What You Get, which resonated with audiences and climbed to number 36 on the best-selling soul singles chart and number 71 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The album's success underscored MeatLoaf's growing stature as a formidable musical force and laid the groundwork for his future endeavors in the music industry. MeatLoaf's career took a dynamic turn as he embarked on a series of notable performances and collaborations that would cement his status as a rock icon. After leaving Motown Records due to vocal changes on a song, MeatLoaf relocated to Freeland, Michigan, where he became a fixture at the Grand Ballroom, captivating audiences with his electrifying stage presence, over 80 performances in a year. In December 1972, MeatLoaf joined the original off-Broadway production of Rainbow at the Orpheum Theater in New York, showcasing his versatility in theatrical roles. Following this stint, he returned to Broadway, rejoining the cast of Hair and expanding his theatrical repertoire. It was during this period that MeatLoaf's path crossed with Jim Steinman, a collaboration that would define his career. Auditioning for the Public Theater's production of More Than You Deserve, MeatLoaf impressed with a powerful rendition of I'd Love to Be as Heavy as Jesus, a song from his earlier album with Stoney. He landed the role of Rabbit, a character known for his explosive antics, alongside notable actors like Ron Silver and Fred Gwynne. Between productions, MeatLoaf also appeared in a Shakespeare in the Park production of As You Like It, showcasing his versatility on stage. In late 1973, MeatLoaf secured a role in the original Los Angeles Roxy production of the Rocky Horror Show, where he played dual roles as Eddie and Dr. Everett Scott. The success of the musical adaptation led to the cult classic film The Rocky Horror Picture Show, in which MeatLoaf reprised his role as Eddie. Reflecting on the experience, MeatLoaf later expressed disappointment that his character's role was reduced in the film adaptation compared to the stage production. Around the same time, MeatLoaf and Jim Steinman embarked on their most ambitious project yet, Bat Out of Hell, persuading Epic Records to invest in music videos for 4 key tracks from the album Bat Out of Hell Paradise by the Dashboard Light. You took the words right out of my mouth. And 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad. MeatLoaf showcased his vision for visual storytelling in music. He also convinced Lou Adler, producer of Rocky Horror, to screen the Paradise music video as a trailer for the movie, further boosting the album's visibility. These pivotal moments marked a transformative period in MeatLoaf's career, setting the stage for the release of Bat Out of Hell and solidifying his reputation as a powerhouse performer and visionary artist in the rock genre. During the recording of the Rocky Horror Picture Show soundtrack, MeatLoaf seized the opportunity to record 2 additional songs, Stand By Me and Clap Your Hands. These tracks remained unreleased until 1984, when they appeared as B-sides to the Nowhere Fast single, adding to MeatLoaf's repertoire. In 1976, MeatLoaf's vocal prowess took center stage when he provided lead vocals for Ted Nugent's album Free for All. This came about when the regular vocalist, Derek St. Holmes, temporarily left the band, showcasing MeatLoaf's versatility and range in the rock music scene. That same year, MeatLoaf ventured back onto Broadway in Gower Champion's rock musical Rockaby Hamlet, but unfortunately, the production closed after just 2 weeks. While MeatLoaf and Jim Steinman initially began working on Bat Out of Hell in 1972, it wasn't until late 1974 that they fully committed to the project. MeatLoaf made the pivotal decision to step away from theater and focus solely on music, marking a significant shift in his career trajectory. During this period, he also served as an understudy for John Belushi in the National Lampoon Show, where he crossed paths with Ellen Foley. This meeting proved crucial as Foley later contributed standout performances on Paradise by the Dashboard Light and Bat Out of Hell on the album. MeatLoaf and Steinman faced challenges in securing a record deal due to the unconventional nature of their music, which defied easy categorization. However, their persistence paid off when Todd Rundgren, under the impression they already had a deal, agreed to produce the album. Rundgren not only took on production duties but also played lead guitar, alongside members of his band Utopia and Max Weinberg on drums. Ultimately, it was Steve Popovich's Cleveland International Records that took a chance on MeatLoaf and Steinman, releasing Bat Out of Hell in October 1977. The album's bombastic rock anthems, theatrical storytelling, and MeatLoaf's impassioned vocals resonated with audiences, defying initial industry skepticism. Bat Out of Hell would go on to become one of the best-selling albums of all time, solidifying MeatLoaf's place as a larger-than-life figure in rock music history. Following the massive success of Bat Out of Hell, MeatLoaf and Jim Steinman forged ahead with their band Neverland Express, embarking on a tour to support the album. Their journey began with a memorable gig opening for Cheap Trick in Chicago, setting the stage for what would become a legendary touring experience. Carla DeVito joined them on tour, lending her voice to lip-sync the original vocals by Ellen Foley and performing alongside MeatLoaf in iconic video clips such as Paradise by the Dashboard Light and You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth. MeatLoaf's national profile soared when he appeared as the musical guest on Saturday Night Live on March 25, 1978, further solidifying his status as a powerhouse in the rock music scene. However, later that year, during a performance in Ottawa, Ontario, MeatLoaf suffered a serious injury, breaking his leg. Despite the setback, he persevered and completed the tour, performing from a wheelchair, a testament to his dedication and resilience. Bat Out of Hell continued to shatter records, selling an estimated 43 million copies worldwide, with 15 million in the United States alone. In the UK, the album spent an astonishing 522 weeks on the charts, achieving continued success even into December 2020. Similarly, in Australia, it became the highest-selling album of all time, dethroning the Bee Gees from the #1 spot. In 1979, Jim Steinman embarked on a solo project, Bad for Good, originally intended as the follow-up to Bat Out of Hell. During this period, MeatLoaf faced vocal challenges due to the rigors of touring, combined with the effects of drugs and exhaustion. Unable to perform, Steinman assumed vocal duties for Bad for Good, showcasing his own distinctive style and storytelling prowess. Meanwhile, MeatLoaf explored his talents on the big screen, portraying the character Travis Redfish in the movie Roadie during his recovery period. As his voice gradually returned, Steinman penned a new album tailored for MeatLoaf, resulting in Dead Ringer, released in September 1981. The album featured 5 new songs by Steinman, including the standout track More Than You Deserve alongside a reworked monologue that showcased MeatLoaf's dynamic vocal range and emotional depth. It was produced by MeatLoaf and Stefan Galfers, with backing tracks produced by Todd Rundgren, Jimmy Iovine, and Steinman. In 1976, MeatLoaf had also appeared on the track Keep or Keep Us, from the Intergalactic Touring Band's self-titled album, produced by Galfers. The song Dead Ringer for Love became the highlight of the album, featuring lead female vocals by Cher. While it did not chart in the US, it reached #5 in the UK singles chart and remained there for 19 weeks, boosting MeatLoaf's success even further. On December 5, 1981, MeatLoaf and the Neverland Express appeared as musical guests on Saturday Night Live. Alongside former Rocky Horror Picture Show co-star Tim Curry, they performed a skit called One Stop Rocky Horror Shop. Additionally, Curry performed the Zucchini Song, and MeatLoaf and the Neverland Express performed Bat Out of Hell and Promised Land. From 1981 to 1992, MeatLoaf lived a vegetarian lifestyle. Following a disagreement with his former collaborator Jim Steinman, MeatLoaf was contractually obligated to release a new album, resulting in Midnight at the Lost and Found, which debuted in May 1983. According to MeatLoaf, Steinman had originally penned the songs Total Eclipse of the Heart and Making Love Out of Nothing at All for this album. However, MeatLoaf's record company refused to allow him to perform Steinman's compositions, arguing they wouldn't resonate with audiences. Bonnie Tyler's rendition of Total Eclipse and Air Supply's Making Love both soared to the top of the charts concurrently in 1983. MeatLoaf contributed to the writing of several tracks on the album, including the title track Midnight at the Lost and Found. Unfortunately, financial mismanagement and a slew of lawsuits amounting to $80 million, including litigation from Steinman, led MeatLoaf to file for bankruptcy in 1983. This bankruptcy resulted in him losing the rights to his songs, although he began receiving royalties for Bat Out of Hell in 1997. In 1984, MeatLoaf decided to legally change his first name from Marvin to Michael. He cited doing so from being haunted by a Levi Strauss & Company commercial that, according to him, included the line, "Poor fat Marvin can't wear Levi's." In 1984, MeatLoaf traveled to England, where he recorded the album Bad Attitude, released later that year. The album included 2 Steinman tracks previously recorded, Nowhere Fast and Surf's Up. The American release on RCA Records in April 1985 featured a slightly altered track list and different mixes. The title track featured a duet with Roger Daltrey, lead singer of The Who. Despite moderate success and a few commercially viable singles such as Modern Girl, the album did not achieve major breakthroughs. During 1985, MeatLoaf engaged in comedy sketches in the UK alongside Hugh Laurie and also attempted stand-up comedy performances in Connecticut. Moving forward, he collaborated with songwriter John Parr on his next album, Blind Before I Stop, released in 1986 by Arista Records. The album, influenced by producer Frank Farian, included contributions from MeatLoaf on 3 of its tracks. Additionally, MeatLoaf recorded thrashing for the soundtrack of the 1986 skateboarding film, Thrashing, directed by David Winters and starring Josh Brolin. Following successful tours in the 1980s, MeatLoaf and Jim Steinman began work on Bat Out of Hell 2, Back into Hell, in December 1990, releasing it in September 1993. The album sold over 15 million copies worldwide, driven by the hit single I'd Do Anything for Love, which topped charts in 28 countries. MeatLoaf won a Grammy Award for Best Rock Vocal Performance for the song in 1994, featuring vocals by Lorraine Crosby as Mrs. Loud and accompanied by American vocalist Patty Russo on tour, the album solidified MeatLoaf's international success. In 1995, his album Welcome to the Neighborhood went platinum in the US and UK, featuring hits like I'd Lie for You and That's the Truth, and Not a Dry Eye in the House. MeatLoaf continued his collaboration with Steinman on the very best of MeatLoaf in 1998, which included new songs like Is Nothing Sacred, a duet with Patty Russo. In 2003, MeatLoaf unveiled Couldn't Have Said It Better, marking a departure as it became only his 3rd album devoid of Jim Steinman's songwriting, excluding live bonus tracks. Despite MeatLoaf's own assertion that Couldn't Have Said It Better represented a pinnacle in his career, since Bat Out of Hell, the album faced the challenge of living up to the massive commercial success of its predecessor. Released in 2003, it did achieve a respectable number 4 position on the UK albums chart, showcasing MeatLoaf's enduring popularity and the loyalty of his fanbase. The album's success was bolstered by a robust world tour that spanned continents, including a memorable performance at the 2003 NRL Grand Final in Sydney, where MeatLoaf delivered an electrifying show that further solidified his reputation as a dynamic live performer. One of the album's strengths was its collaboration with a diverse lineup of esteemed songwriters. Notably, Diane Warren and James Michael contributed to the album, lending their songwriting prowess to several tracks. Their involvement added depth and variety to the album's musical landscape, showcasing MeatLoaf's ability to interpret and deliver powerful, emotive songs. However, the journey surrounding Couldn't Have Said It Better was marked by significant challenges for MeatLoaf. During a performance at London's Wembley Arena on November 17, 2003, he collapsed on stage due to health issues, which were later diagnosed as Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome. This condition, characterized by abnormal electrical pathways in the heart, required immediate medical attention and raised concerns about MeatLoaf's health and future performances. Despite these setbacks, MeatLoaf demonstrated remarkable resilience and determination to continue pursuing his musical career. In February 2004, during an Australian tour, he defied expectations and showcased his enduring talent by performing alongside the prestigious Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. These concerts were not just performances but monumental events that highlighted MeatLoaf's ability to connect with audiences on a profound level, transcending the boundaries of rock music. The culmination of this tour was captured in the live album Bat Out of Hell Live with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra, released to critical acclaim. The album captured the energy and grandeur of MeatLoaf's performances, including standout moments like the Australian Boys Choir's backing vocals on the track Testify from Couldn't Have Said It Better. It served as a testament to MeatLoaf's enduring legacy and his ability to deliver unforgettable live performances despite personal and health challenges. As the years progressed, MeatLoaf and his longtime collaborator Jim Steinman resumed their creative partnership, despite facing hurdles such as Steinman's health issues, including a heart attack that temporarily stalled their plans for the 3rd installment of Bat Out of Hell. Despite occasional legal disputes over trademark issues related to the iconic album title, MeatLoaf and Steinman maintained a professional relationship, dispelling any rumors of personal discord. Ultimately, the release of Bat Out of Hell 3: The Monster Is Loose in October 2006 marked another significant chapter in MeatLoaf's storied career. Produced by Desmond Child, the album continued to showcase MeatLoaf's powerful vocals and theatrical style, featuring collaborations with talented vocalists such as Marion Raven and Jennifer Hudson. Despite not reaching the same commercial heights as its predecessors, the album reaffirmed MeatLoaf's status as a versatile and enduring artist in the world of rock music, beloved by fans for his emotive performances and larger-than-life persona. In a remarkable comeback, MeatLoaf's lead single It's All Coming Back to Me, now featuring Marion Raven, soared to the top of the UK singles chart, marking his highest chart position in over a decade. This success was a testament to his enduring appeal and musical prowess. The accompanying album, The Bass is a Loaded Tour, saw MeatLoaf and the Neverland Express embark on a tour across the United States and Europe, solidifying his reputation as a consummate performer. In 2007, MeatLoaf embarked on the Seize the Night tour, a journey documented in the film MeatLoaf in Search of Paradise. The cinematic portrayal captured his dedication to his fans amid challenges such as exhaustion and health concerns, further cementing his legacy in the music industry. MeatLoaf's career continued to flourish with the Casa Dakin tour in 2008, featuring new material from his critically acclaimed album Hang Cool Teddy Bear. Produced by Rob Cavallo and featuring collaborations with luminaries like Hugh Laurie, Jack Black, Patti Russo, and Cara Diagati, the album showcased MeatLoaf's versatility and enduring creativity. In October 2011 Australia and New Zealand and February 2012 worldwide, MeatLoaf released Hell in a Handbasket, produced by Paul Crook and mixed by Doug McKean with input from Rob Cavallo. The album featured standout tracks including All of Me, Blue Sky, The Giving Tree, Mad Mad World, and a memorable duet with Patti Russo titled Our Love and Our Souls. However, not all moments were met with acclaim. During the 2011 AFL Grand Final in Australia, MeatLoaf's 12-minute medley performance faced harsh criticism, labeling it as one of the event's worst. In response, MeatLoaf vehemently defended himself, disparaging online critics in the Australian Football League, vowing to dissuade other artists from participating in the event. Despite setbacks, MeatLoaf remained prolific. A planned Christmas album with Garth Brooks and Reba McEntire did not materialize, but he continued to collaborate with Jim Steinman, releasing Braver Than We Are in September 2016. The album included reworked versions of classics like Speaking in Tongues and Who Needs the Young, showcasing his enduring partnership and creative evolution with Steinman. Behind the scenes of MeatLoaf's remarkable career, he confronted a series of personal demons and health challenges. One of the most significant health issues MeatLoaf dealt with was Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, a condition affecting the heart's electrical system. This condition, along with asthma, posed ongoing health concerns throughout his life. In July 2011, during a performance in Pittsburgh, MeatLoaf collapsed on stage due to an asthma attack, a stark reminder of the physical toll his conditions could exact even in the midst of his energetic performances. The following year, in June 2012, MeatLoaf faced another frightening incident when he collapsed during a concert in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. This time, severe dehydration was cited as the cause, compounded by his rigorous touring schedule. Prior to this episode, he had already canceled 2 shows due to illness, highlighting the challenges he faced balancing his health with his demanding career. Controversy surrounded the Edmonton incident when it was reported that a pre-recorded vocal track continued playing while MeatLoaf lay unconscious on stage, leading to accusations of lip-syncing. MeatLoaf vehemently denied these claims, asserting that his microphone was live throughout the performance. In the aftermath of these health scares, MeatLoaf embarked on an intensive regimen of recovery and rehabilitation. He turned to acupuncture, physical therapy, and committed himself to rigorous training sessions with a personal trainer 4 days a week, each lasting 90 minutes. Despite his efforts, ongoing health issues persisted, culminating in November 2016, when he underwent emergency back surgery. This procedure, which included spinal fusion to address a cyst pinching nerves, underscored the severity of his physical challenges. By 2019, MeatLoaf's mobility was significantly impaired, necessitating the use of a cane and wheelchair. That same year, during the Texas Frightmare Weekend event at the Hyatt Regency DFW Hotel, he suffered yet another setback when he fell off an interview stage and broke his clavicle. This incident prompted MeatLoaf and his wife to file a lawsuit against Texas Frightmare Weekend and Hyatt, seeking accountability for the accident and its consequences. Despite the hurdles he faced behind the scenes, MeatLoaf's determination and passion for his art remained undiminished. His ability to confront and overcome these personal and health challenges underscored his resilience and commitment to his music and acting career. Throughout his life, MeatLoaf's enduring legacy as a consummate performer and beloved entertainer continues to resonate with fans worldwide, inspiring admiration for his talent and admiration for his tenacity in the face of adversity. MeatLoaf also struggled with social anxiety throughout his life. Despite his larger-than-life persona on stage, he revealed a different side in personal settings, expressing discomfort and nervousness in social situations. He candidly shared, "I never meet anybody much in a social situation because when I go into a social situation, I have no idea what to do." Reflecting on his feelings of isolation and anxiety, MeatLoaf attributed some of these challenges to his childhood experiences. He recalled being overweight as a child, which often left him feeling excluded from social activities. He noted, "Being too fat to play with the other children, I had to spend a lot of time alone, which probably has a lot to do with the way I am today." Despite his struggles with social anxiety, MeatLoaf found solace and purpose in his music career. He spent much of his time surrounded by fellow musicians in work-related settings, where he felt more comfortable and at ease. He admitted that outside of work, he preferred solitude, spending his time alone in hotel rooms between performances and rehearsals. MeatLoaf's openness about his social anxiety humanizes his public persona, shedding light on the internal battles faced by even the most celebrated figures in entertainment. His ability to channel his emotions into his music resonated deeply with fans, creating a connection that transcended his personal struggles. His passing on January 20th, 2022, marked the end of an era in rock music, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire and resonate with audiences worldwide. Few people know that MeatLoaf had an unexpected twist in his personal dietary choices. Despite his moniker suggesting a carnivorous appetite, MeatLoaf embraced vegetarianism from 1981 to 1992, a decision that puzzled some fans and amused others. Reflecting on the amusing and sometimes confusing reactions to his name, MeatLoaf recalled an incident involving KD Lang at an awards show. Eager to meet her, he declined when she learned his name, illustrating the quirky disconnect between his persona and personal choices. In a bold move in 2019, MeatLoaf announced plans to explore veganism during Veganuary in 2020. Collaborating with the UK restaurant chain Frankie Benny's to promote their vegan offerings, he continued to challenge expectations and expand his culinary horizons late in his career. Beyond his dietary adventures, MeatLoaf made an indelible mark on both the music and film industries. While best known for his breakthrough role in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, where he played Eddie, MeatLoaf's career extended into numerous films and television appearances. His acting credits included notable roles in Leap of Faith, Wayne's World, Spice World, and Black Dog. He garnered critical acclaim for his role as Robert Paulson in David Fincher's cult classic Fight Club, showcasing his versatility and dramatic range on screen. In addition to his film work, MeatLoaf left an impression on television audiences with appearances on popular shows like Glee and a memorable stint on season 11 of Celebrity Apprentice, where his clash with Gary Busey became a highlight of the season. MeatLoaf's personal life was also a testament to his colorful personality. He was married twice, first to Leslie G. Edmonds, whom he married in early 1979 and divorced in 2001. During their marriage, MeatLoaf adopted Leslie's daughter, Pearl, from a previous relationship, solidifying a family bond that extended into his professional life. His second daughter, Amanda, born in 1981, followed in his footsteps in the entertainment industry, gaining recognition for her role on the HBO series Carnival from 2003 to 2005. In 2007, MeatLoaf married his second wife, Deborah Gillespie, marking a new chapter in his personal life. Tragically, his journey came to an end on January 20th, 2022, at the age of 74 in Nashville, Tennessee. While the exact cause of death was not officially disclosed, reports indicated he had recently battled COVID-19, with complications from the virus potentially contributing to his passing. MeatLoaf's legacy continues to resonate with fans worldwide through his timeless music, memorable performances, and the enduring impact he left on the entertainment industry. His ability to captivate audiences with his powerhouse vocals and larger-than-life presence ensures that he will be fondly remembered as a true icon of rock and roll. As we reflect on the life and death of MeatLoaf, we celebrate a man whose passion for music touched millions and whose legacy will endure for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life and legacy of MeatLoaf. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button for more stories of music's greatest icons.